Hi everyone. So we're going to look at moving V around in the camera frame today. Just real quick, I'm going to review what I did in framing in the previous video. Right now, by the way, to hit N as in Nancy to get to this screen. I'm in Dogtown and I'm using my Goth V, just a character build I did. I'll put a link for that in the comments. So anyway, we're on camera type drone. We're looking at V from behind, and I intentionally put my camera behind her so you can see how to move things around. So it'll be good for us. So this is first person perspective. This is what V is looking at. Again, just kind of like doing some review here. Field of view. You know that you can use that to include more things on the screen and to narrow the field of view down. So that's a nice view from behind. This rotates the frame again. So we're just concentrating on the frame. And that other video I did, which I will link in the comments, there's a more in-depth view of all this. Full collision is about bumping into NPCs. Aspect ratio, that is important if you're going to post to social media. Full screen is just taking your screenshot. And 2.3, again, no idea what that's used for. Someone probably uses it. 4.5 is Instagram, is the aspect ratio for Instagram. See the bars around here. That's your frame. That's what this only works on PC too. Lock camera means that you won't move like the camera around if you happen to be pressing on your mouse button. We are going to still use full frame today, full screen, and I'm going to turn the lock camera off. I took some pictures, some test pictures with camera speed just to follow up on the last video. It didn't seem to do anything. I set it for 100. I set it for 0. I took a bunch of different pictures. Maybe it's something they've added thinking they'll use it in the future. Right now it doesn't seem to do anything as far as I can tell. If you know it does something, please let me know. Okay, so we're mostly going to be using this tab here, the one that says V. But you will probably want to start here and either enable or disable your depth of field. Your pictures will look more professional in my opinion, if you enable these. And autofocus means you'll autofocus on V. And if you turn that off, you can see she blurs out there. So it's kind of a nice effect, but that's what that's for. And your aperture is kind of reviewing here, by the way. You'll notice that as your aperture decreases, more of the background gets blurred out. So, and as you increase it, more of what's around V will come into focus. So we will keep it at around 4. That's a good place to be. You can change that as you feel like it. So onward to V. The character is visible. If you toggle this, you will make V disappear, and she disappears. There we go. Okay. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera around so you can see her a little bit better from the front. And okay, so let's talk about the mouse first. The left mouse button moves the camera. So you can see how that's working right now as I'm moving from left to right. The middle mouse button adjusts the camera distance. And again, I'm going to zoom in. Okay. And the right mouse button will rotate the camera. All right, so you can kind of see what's going on there. That's just rotating the camera. But what we are going to do first, you notice there's a rotate here under the V tab. And what that does is it rotates V, because right now she has her back to us and we can't see her. So there you go. I just turned her around. All right. And then you can move her to left to right with these controls. Oops, off the screen. Oh no, where will she be? There we go. And these can get a little out of hand if you're not careful. Go way off to the right or way off to the left and you can't find her. Close and far will also control how close she is to you. See, we're moving her around a little bit right now. There you go. Now I'm still doing the close and far thing, and then I can move her up, way up, and I can move her way down. All right, so let's keep those around 0, and we will look up. That's it. There needs to be I wonder if I can't actually. I tried this before. Entering like 0 on the keyboard. Yep, doesn't do anything. Just wanted to double check. So you kind of have to precisely move it back to 0. It's not going to work. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, all right. So what you could do in that case, if you really want her to be precisely at 0 and 0 and 0, is kind of like get out, go back in. Whoops, hit map, hit M instead of N. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to go back to V, and we are going to rotate her around so we can see her again. There we go. And I won't fuss with these since you can't control them very easily. And I'm going to move the camera over a little bit. So here's the things that you'll want to play with. Category. There you go. See, there's an action category and there's a idle category. There's a ton of different poses under these categories. So for idle, for instance, so we have saber-tooth, the yellow saber-tooth tiger pose. Let's bring our exposure up a little bit so you can see her a little bit better. There you go. And since she's so close to this lunch counter, I am going to move her. We're going to get out again. These are the kind of things you're going to have to fuss with when you take a photo, but it's not bad. So let's move her over here so you can see things a little bit better. Okay. And back to photo mode. And there she is. All right, and we will position this again. Hey, good exercise, right? All right, I'm going to move in close to her. And she is far right now. And I can adjust this, do micro changes with the mouse a little bit. And I'm going to rotate her to look at me a little bit more. And then we will go back to the poses so you can see those. And the idle, we'll start with idle. And most of these are kind of ones that you might want to do. Let's bring up the exposure some more again so we can see this a little bit better. There we go. And contrast, by the way, will also darken the image, so it brings out contrast, so you know, and I'll go over this in the next video. Increases the range of tones, so you get better definition of colors in a way. All right, so let's go back to V, and you get all these poses under like one category. By the way, there are only two categories: action and idle. So you get all these different poses, just kind of standing around, peace sign. Let's rotate her a little bit more. There you go. All right, and by the way, you can control her expression too. smiling, fury, boredom. There you go. All right, and then I'm going to move in a little bit more on her. Move the camera over a little bit. There we go. And we don't want to move V. And these are where you'll probably go wrong. A lot of times you want to move the camera up, but what you'll end up doing is moving V because of the way these all work, and you'll get confused. But, that happens. Again, get out and just kind of reset. I guess these things really do need a reset. There might be one, but I do not know where it is. So I'm going to move the camera up a little bit. And it's nice you got these guidelines here. If you're really into the photography rule of 3, these are divided up into 3 sections. So, okay. So we went over posing. You got the idle and you've got the action category. And down here, when you're in action, notice you sometimes get this little category here called muzzle flash. There we go. That's pretty cool, huh? Looks like she's got Lizzie in her hand. I'm not sure I have that armed, but pretty cool. All right, and down here, the other one you want to look at is look at camera. There you go. She'll look right at the camera, right at you, if you want. So that's another one you want to toggle on and off. Facial expressions, always good. A lot of options that the CD Projekt Red people gave you here. It's really good. So that's how to position V on the screen. I'm going to go over all this one more time, just kind of like review. So this, first of all, the very first thing you probably want to do is adjust your aspect ratio for whatever media you plan to go to. If you're going to post to Instagram, you probably don't want the full screenshot. You probably want the 4:5 framing. And you'll notice that now I'm going to move this over a little bit with my left mouse button and frame this shot a little bit better. So once you have that set, and by the way, if you want, this would be for TikTok, 9:16. Okay, so we're going to go over back to V again. Just go over these categories again. Character visible. If you're doing landscapes, you might want to turn her off. Categories, only 2, idle and action. And right now we're in the cover shot pose. We've got bunches of poses under these actions. See, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Looking right at the camera, muzzle flash, stop police. Now that's a cool one. Maybe I'll post that to my Instagram. And so if I'm going to post it to Instagram, I want to make it 4:5. And you just hit the space bar, by the way, to take a screenshot. Very nice. All right, so let's see here. So that's the pose, stop police. And you got some other ones here. One thing is when you have a shot that you notice all the options are covering the pose right now, so you can't really see it. You do have the option to turn off the UI, and you just hit tab to do that. So there you go. Now you can see it, but the frame goes away, so it's harder to frame the photo. But it's good to know, and you can use that to your advantage. Facial expression. She's not looking at the camera, but if she did, let's show what her expression is. If we have her look at the camera. There you go. And let's get another shot. There we go. Now we have to frame her a little bit better. There you go. Want the gun in the frame. And maybe move the shot up a little bit. There you go. That's a little bit better. All right. And again, this, oh, sorry, getting a little lost here. So you got her looking at the camera, got her rotated. If I want to, I can move her around like this. And I can move her. Now remember, this actually moves the character on the screen. What you want to do most of the time is move the frame, which you would do with the mouse button. Say to the left, and that's actually moving the camera when I use the left mouse button, or I rotate the camera like that. But if I use these controls, I'm actually adjusting how far away V is. So it's a difference in the case of close and far. It's how far away. And see, if this is the problem here where you can go wrong. Now I've got V down into the ground with up and down. Mostly, I would recommend keeping away from these controls. I mean, just adjust them a little bit. Be very careful. Well, don't keep away from them. Just be careful using them. So that's it. That's how you frame V for a photo. Adjust your aspect ratio. Use your presets. By the way, I did not go over these, but you can see the presets are pretty handy in terms of where V ends up in the photo and positioning her for the photo. So the presets don't forget them. Basically, you've got these, and you can get some pretty nice photos with your presets. And whoops, way down low. You don't want that. And she's over there, way over there right now. But this is pretty cool. I like doing this. And then with when you go over here to V, you can control her posing and various things like her expression, whether she looks at the camera or not, and how far you rotate her, things like that, and how close she is to the camera. And you can see how people make shots. What I will probably do in the future is show you how to make some of the shots that people do on Instagram and on the CD Projekt Red website. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. I will answer them, and I will try to do more detailed work with these in the future. We will go over adding characters and setting up lights and lighting. I'll explain. These are important to you, making your photos a little bit better, and I'll explain what those are all about later, exposure, contrast, and highlighting. So thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you all again in the next video. Thank you.